All right, let me give you a secret that's gonna destroy your brain. That's gonna blow your brain. You ready for it? Do you realize why I usually say, stop thinking. You're not the thinker. The more thoughts you entertain, the more you'll suffer because none of those thoughts are actually yours. Habibi, repeat that video again. The more thoughts you entertain, the more you'll suffer because none of those thoughts are yours. Didn't I tell you before? I'm like, your reality, it comes because of your thoughts. The thoughts are the seed. So similar to when a farmer plants a seed on the earth, and then a whole thing comes out, a whole plant comes out. That's your life. Your life is the plant. The seed is the thoughts. The seed is the thoughts. So that's how Allah makes the universe work. But what if I told you that none of those seeds are yours? None of those seeds, you picked it from your own self. You never wanted to pick any of these seeds. So none of them are yours. You see why now I say, think nothing? Just be nothing? Because being nothing is the ultimate thing that you can do. Thinking nothing is the ultimate thing you can think. My brother, Habibi, my sister, the only reason you're thinking too much is because you're not trusting Allah enough. That's the only reason. You think you have to plan out your whole day the next day because you think that Allah is not going to plan out your day in a proper way. That's why you're planning out your day. You don't need to plan out your day. You think you have to be worrying about, how am I going to have enough money so I can pay the bills? Because you believe that Allah is not going to give you enough money so you can pay the bills. You think about, what if something's going to happen and I might lose the house? Because you think that Allah is not going to help you keep the house. By the way, if you've ever lost the house, just so you know, if you ever lost something, just understand that that thing you never gained in the first place. That thing was never yours in the first place. That thing you were never meant to have in the first place. The fact that Allah took something away from you, it just meant that was never for you. And the fact that something got taken away from you, it just shows that you were so identified with the ego that you forgot that you were all of it. You are the money. You are the love. You are the freedom. You are the abundance. You are all of it. So when you're looking at things and you're like, I lost money, you never lost money. You were always abundance, Habibi. You were always money. So the fact that you're going to say I lost money, it just shows you're so disconnected from your true being that when things appear like they're going away from you, you're like, no, I'm losing it and it's going away and I should start feeling sad because I'm losing it. None of that stuff is actually real. That stuff is just in your mind. That's why I say, don't be thinking. Don't be thinking. You don't need to be thinking. Why is it that all your thoughts are coming from somewhere else? Tell me that. Why is it that all your thoughts are just coming from somewhere else? The reason why that is, Habibi, the reason why that is because your thoughts, right? I actually went to the podcast and some guy was asking me a question and I think I was a bit nervous in the podcast. So I was just like, what are thoughts? And every time my brother reminds me of it, and I start laughing. But anyway, truly, what are thoughts? Thoughts happen because the things that you look at and the things that you hear. The things that you look at and the things that you hear are very important because those are the things that are changing your subconscious mind. And so if those are the things that are changing your subconscious mind, thoughts are arising because of the subconscious mind. And so the things that you're looking at, that's why I'm like, guard the things that you look at, guard the things that you listen to. Don't just be listening to everything and looking at everything. Because now the type of thoughts you'll be getting are aligned with that thing that you're looking at. That is why I say when you're looking at the sky itself, you're looking at infinity. So imagine what type of thoughts you'll be getting. That's why I say when you're looking at the forest itself, you're looking at abundance. So imagine what type of thoughts you'll be getting. That's what I'm saying when you're looking at the water, the sea, the beach, you're looking at peace. So imagine what type of thoughts you'll be getting. You understand what I mean? Even when you're looking at your body, you're looking at the product of an intelligent designer. So imagine what type of thoughts you'll be getting. Do you see what I mean? But then, now, when you're looking at haram, when you're looking at nudity, when you're looking at scrolling, doom scrolling, when you're watching just TV and you're giving your attention to that black mirror, imagine what type of thoughts you'll be getting. When you're listening to music the entire day, horrible music with horrible words, imagine what type of thoughts you'll be getting. When you're listening to people just swearing or backbiting or talking bad about others, imagine what type of thoughts you'll be getting. Do you see what I mean? You see how powerful just your attention is? Your attention, don't just be giving it to everybody. Don't just be giving it to everything. Keep it. Your attention is valuable. No one is allowed to have your attention until you decide that it's valuable enough to give your attention. You giving me your attention, I know that that's valuable, and I'm thankful for that. Thank you for that. And I'm grateful for that, man. But I'm trying to give you something back as a result because you're giving me your attention. So only be giving your attention to things that will give you something of value in return. You looking at nudity gives you no value. Some guy was asking me, he's like, how do I stop laziness, man? And I'm like, I was just thinking, like, what are you doing in your life? Because the only reason why you're experiencing laziness, which is separateness from Allah, is because obviously you're looking at the wrong things. You're telling me, Habibi, that if you sit and you think nothing, you're telling me nothing productive is going to arise in your mind that's going to make you want to go and do something? The only reason why you're feeling lazy is because you're giving your attention to everything else outside of you. That's the only reason. There is no other reason. And the reason why you feel the lack of energy, because you've expended all this energy. You've given away all this energy. And that is why you're feeling lazy. Do you see what I mean, Habibi? Again, the only reason why you have the life that you don't want right now is because you're entertaining way too many thoughts. And most of these thoughts are not even yours. They're not even yours. I wish that I can leave a legacy behind where whenever, like all these videos I'm making right now, that people go and watch them, binge watch them, and then they're just left with so much energy because it reminds them of who they truly are. So when you're watching me right now, like inshallah, you're realizing who you truly are. Because you're giving me your attention, I'm trying to give you something back of value. And that's beautiful, man. And that's very beautiful. The people that you follow, literally, go on Twitter right now, see who are you following, remove everybody that steals energy from you. Go on Instagram, who are you following, remove everybody that steals energy from you. And mute those accounts that steal energy from you. You're going to be scrolling. There's no way you're not going to be scrolling, and you know that too. As a result, remove everybody that's bad. Curate your feed. Make sure that your feed only includes the people that have given you something back of value. The ones that don't give you any value, remove them. Remove everybody that doesn't give you value. And understand, you are all of it. There is no separation. Separation is only existing in the mind. The only reason why you're feeling separation is because you're putting your attention on the mind. Too many thoughts. But then, when you just reduce the thoughts, Habibi, when you just reduce the thoughts and you think nothing, then you become aligned with the will of Allah. And then when you get aligned with the will of Allah, you get reminded that you are all of it once again. And then, so as a result, there is no separation. So then when you're like, I'm lacking money. No, you're not lacking money. Your ego is lacking money. But for you, you are money. You're like, I'm lacking love. You're not lacking love. The ego lacks love. And the ego lacks those things because the ego is not connected to Allah. But then when you're connected back to Allah, you're like, what the heck? I was always abundance. I was always love. I was always joy. And again, the only reason why you feel like you're lacking it is just because you're disconnected. That's all it is. Because you're identifying with the mind most of the time. Anyway, this was a very big secret that I wanted to give you. So if this was helpful, man, just let me know.